Live from South Padre Island, Texas, in the beautiful Gulf of Mexico, the 1994 Miss USA Pageant. Starring 51 of the most outstanding young women in the USA. With your host, Entertainment Tonight's Bob Goen. Your co-host from Entertainment News Television, Arthel Neville. Special guest, country music star Doug Stowe. Special commentator, Miss USA 1985, Laura Herring. The reigning Miss USA, Kenya Moore. And saluting America's Armed Forces, United States Air Force Academy Cadet Corral and Saber Drill Team. And now, here are the 51 contestants for the title of Miss USA 1994.
Rise to every talent, breathe each new day. Proud to be a woman living in the USA. Body, mind, and spirit, help to light my way. I'm so glad I'm living in the USA. Every single state we come, a bright and starry eye. When the night is done, there'll be just one, and we won't be there 'cause we try. Reaching for tomorrow, but living every day. Strong and proud and free, strong and proud, living in the USA. Living in the USA. Living in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Bob Goen. And your co-host, Arthel Neville.
Ladies, hey you.
How you doing?
How are you?
Hello there. Hello to you. Thanks for being here with us. And ladies, thank you. That was terrific. We're glad you're living in the USA. That was great.
That's
My
right.
goodness.
And we are so glad to be on the beautiful South Padre Island in the great state of Tejas.
Yeah. Well, you know how to get applause, don't you? Now, I kind of have to confess something here, Arthel. You know, this is my first pageant, so I'm a little bit nervous, you know, but I don't know. Get a
you know
little
what?
catch in the throat.
Don't you worry, because I happen to be a longtime pageant veteran.
Really? How many have you done?
One. But I was really, really good.
I'm filled with confidence. I'm brimming over. Thank you, dear.
Okay, now, commission will work.
Oh, no, this is where we patronize the co-host. That's
And of course, I will be reporting the rest of the scores throughout the evening in the cheap seats.
All right, yeah, you're going to be up there in the anchor booth, right?
Yes, I
and
will.
You're going to have a cohort?
Yes, Laura Herring. She won the Miss USA title in 1985, so she knows the stuff
She
behind the
knows what's going on.
scenes.
And she's Miss Texas.
Miss Texas,
Former
yes.
Miss Texas, yeah. See, I know how to milk applause, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, if you two will keep track of the goings-on backstage, I'll get things started out here with the Parade of States, okay?
Okay.
All righty,
You're on
ladies.
your own.
Thank you very much.
I'll miss you, though.
Yeah, miss me, miss you. Okay. All right, that's Arthel Neville,
Bye,
everybody.
ladies. Good luck.
Now, as our contestants introduce themselves, you will see each young lady's preliminary score and a visual reminder of how she looked in the preliminaries. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the 51 contestants for the title of Miss USA 1994. We begin with the contestants from the South, Mississippi.
A junior at the University of Mississippi, I plan to major in television journalism. I'm Leslie Jatan.
Virginia.
A graduate of James Madison University and a former assistant with the governor of Virginia, I'm Pat Southall.
South Carolina.
A high school teacher with a master's degree in English education from Charleston, I'm Lou Parker.
Arkansas.
A graduate of Arkansas Tech University with degrees in speech and journalism from Little Rock, I'm Hannah Hilliard.
Alabama.
A graduate student in University Administration from Florence, I'm Malaya Nelms.
West Virginia.
Studying at the University of Charleston, where I plan to become a certified nurse anesthetist. From Charleston, I'm Linda Bailey.
North Carolina.
With a degree in journalism, I now work as a motivational speaker. From Gastonia, I'm Lynn Jenkins.
Louisiana.
A senior in microbiology at Louisiana State University. From New Orleans, I'm Sherelle Hebert.
Florida.
A speech pathology major at Valencia Community College. From Deltona, I'm Cynthia Redding.
Kentucky.
A PhD candidate at the University of Kentucky. From Paducah, I'm Kim Buford.
Tennessee.
An Army Intelligence Officer for the Tennessee National Guard from Murfreesboro. I'm Leah Hewlin.
Oklahoma.
I'm an accounting major at Oklahoma State University. From Oklahoma City, I'm Angela Parrott.
Georgia.
A Georgia graduate with a degree in journalism from the Olympic City of Atlanta, I'm Andrea Moore.
And Maryland.
A pre-med student planning a career in neurosurgery from Silver Spring, I'm Wendy Davis.
And now the contestants from the Northeast, Rhode Island.
A senior at Parmenter College, I look forward to a career in television. From Lincoln, I'm Rayanne Johnson.
Delaware.
An engineering student from the University of Delaware. From Newcastle County, I'm Teresa Klein.
District of Columbia.
Soon I begin master's work at George Washington University. My goal of career in politics, I'm Angela McGlowan.
Connecticut.
A junior at Syracuse University, I aspire to a career in network news. From Danbury, I'm Estrella Egan.
New York.
A graduate in accounting from Franklin and Marshall College, I'm an actress and model in New York City. I'm Jennifer Garrett.
Vermont.
A professional photographer and director of studio management. From Barry, I'm Christy Beltrami.
New Jersey.
A criminal justice major from Rutgers University, I'm Rosa Velez.
Maine.
A business owner and a professional cosmetologist from Gorham, my name is Colleen Brink.
New Hampshire.
A sales specialist with a major U.S. retailer. From Rochester, I am Kelly Zarcy.
Pennsylvania.
With a degree in journalism, I now work as a newspaper reporter. From Pittsburgh, I am Linda Terraluna.
And Massachusetts.
Managing a family restaurant and majoring in child psychology. From Belmont, I am Michelle Atamian.
Now the contestants from the Southwest, New Mexico.
Recent graduate of Arizona State with a degree in psychology. From Albuquerque, I'm Jill Vasquez.
Utah.
A vocal performance major at Brigham Young University. From Provo, I'm Vanessa Munns.
Arizona.
I'm a motivational speaker with aspirations for a career in medicine. From Mesa, I'm Jennifer Tisdale.
Hawaii.
I'm an international model, an MBA student, and a substitute teacher. Aloha, I'm Nadine Tanega.
Nevada.
A UNLV graduate, I begin law school in the fall. I'm Angela Lambert.
Colorado.
A graduate of the University of Colorado planning a career in law. From Denver, I'm Kimberly Veldhuizen.
California.
A political science major with aspirations in politics. From Oxnard, I am Toy Foster.
And Texas.
After graduating from college, I played a career in geriatrics. From El Paso, I am Christine Friedel.
The contestants from the Northwest, Oregon.
An on-air traffic reporter and advocate for the DARE program. From Lake Oswego, I'm Denise White.
Wyoming.
A social work major from the University of Wyoming, focusing on AIDS education. I'm Tolan Clark.
Alaska.
Anchorage is my home. A senior at the University of Alaska majoring in marketing. I am John Stubach.
Montana.
With a Bachelor of Science degree, I now work as an interior designer. I'm Kelly Brown.
Idaho.
An education and counseling major at Idaho State University. From Idaho Falls, I am Trina Wheeler.
Washington.
A college student studying special education. From Seattle, I am Angel Ward.
Here are the contestants from the Midwest, Missouri.
My bachelor's in education, I now teach elementary school. From Republic, I'm Shelley Lehman.
Ohio.
A senior at Ohio Dominican College with plans to own a funeral home. From Gahanna, I'm Lisa Allison.
Indiana.
An account executive with a preventative health care company. From Clarksville, I'm Kim Skull.
Wisconsin.
A graduate of UCLA with a degree in English. From Milwaukee, I am Gina Desmond.
Michigan.
An education major at Wayne State University. From Allen Park, Michigan, I'm Kelly Pulowski.
North Dakota.
Fargo's my home, where I modeled and a student at North Dakota State University. University. I am Amy Jane Lance.
Kansas.
Overland Park is my hometown, a model and a marketing rep for a national retail chain. I'm Carol Hovenkamp.
Iowa.
Currently working as a medical doctor in internal medicine from Des Moines, I am Callie Pandish.
Minnesota.
A professional spokesperson and university senior from Burnsville, I'm Jolene Stavrakis.
Illinois.
An aspiring actress and graduate of Hunter College. From Chicago, I'm Kathleen Farrell.
South Dakota.
A biology and education major at Black Hills State University. From Mobridge, I am Tabitha Mao.
And Nebraska.
An honor student at the University of Nebraska. From Omaha, my name is Sean Wolf.
Strong and proud and free. Living in the USA.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, and in a few minutes we will reveal our 12 semifinalists. There they are.
Welcome back to our live broadcast from South Padre Island, Texas. Now, this is our anchor booth here in the Convention Center, and joining me here tonight is Laura Herring, Miss USA 1985.
Hi,
our special
Karen.
comment. We're such girls, right? Now, this is sort of a homecoming for you because you were Miss Texas, right?
That's right, I'm from El Paso.
And you have been acting here.
Yes, ma'am. I did a movie called Exit to Eden with Dan Aykroyd, and it opens in May. In July, actually, in July.
Do I get tickets?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you've been working with the ladies for the past 2 weeks, getting to know them. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about this crowd?
They are an amazing group. They're more serious than ever. Do you know that half of them have started their own charities? They're exercising all day. Miss California and Miss Idaho are doing 1,000 sit-ups and 1,000 push-ups a day.
1,000. The only number I know is 911. By the way, the contestants can't hear what we're saying up here in the anchor booth. We don't want to add to the backstage tension.
And the judges won't be able to hear us either, so that we won't influence their scoring.
Okay, Miss Laura, you're the expert here. Give me your top picks.
I think Miss New Jersey will do very well. She's very postured, you know, she's very graceful. Texas, because she has a crowd on her side that creates some magic. Virginia, because she has that energy and remarkable eyes. Have you seen them?
Yeah, and her sister has the same eyes.
Yes.
Nice lady. All right. You know what? I think they're ready on stage, so why don't we see who the judges have chosen?
And now our week of preliminary competition culminates in this moment. The scores have been added, they've been averaged, and the contestants with the top 12 scores will continue in tonight's competition. Now, as each semifinalist comes forward, you will see her composite preliminary score on the screen. And remember, I'll be reading these names in random order. The first semifinalist for the title of Miss USA 1994 is Miss Tennessee, Leah Hewlin.
Get this, Leah is a lieutenant in the Army.
I look for her to be a tough competitor then.
You bet.
Miss Hawaii, Nadine Tenega.
Now, Nadine is a real pageant pro.
She was first runner-up in the Miss Hawaii pageant 3 times before she won.
Whoa, talk about hanging in there.
Miss Kansas, Carol Hovenkamp.
It was last year's Miss Kansas who spotted Carol at the mall and convinced her to enter.
Now, that's a good day at the mall.
Miss Illinois, Kathleen Farrell.
This could be really interesting, I felt. Kathleen's sister was 3rd runner-up in the 1988 Miss USA pageant.
And someone told me her sister chose
Miss
her.
North Carolina, Lynn Jenkins.
Now, I am told when Lynn puts her mind to something, she really goes all out.
You're not kidding. Last year, she actually made a trip to the pageant just so that she could watch it live.
Miss Texas, Christine Friedel.
Okay, Laura, your hometown girl made the cut.
I know I'm partial, but I'm not surprised. She just loves that stage.
And this Texas crowd loves her.
We're at the halfway point. Only 6 spots remaining for a chance at the title of Miss USA, and one of those spots goes to Miss New York, Jennifer Garais.
Jennifer won her first pageant when she was an exchange student in Malaga, Spain.
Well, then, hey, a pageant in English should be a cakewalk for her.
Miss South Carolina, Lou Parker.
Now, this lady has real attitude.
That's right, Arthel. She says to win, you have to come here with it already in your mind that you are the winner.
Miss Minnesota, Jolene Stavrakis.
The only woman from Minnesota to ever become Miss USA was Barbara Peterson in 1976.
And get this, she lone joined in
3
the fourth
spots
category.
left. Let's give one to Miss Louisiana, Cheryl Hebert.
Sherelle is from New Orleans. She's studying to be a doctor, and we both went to St. Mary's Dominican High School.
Ah, she's very bright. Expect her to do very well.
Miss Missouri, Shelley Lehman.
Miss Missouri still has a chance for the crown.
Shelley really is the most perfect vision of the girl next door you can imagine.
1 spot remaining. Only one of these women will have a chance at becoming Miss USA, and she is Miss Virginia Pat Salvo.
There is one terrific young lady.
You're so right. You know, in photography sessions, exhausting rehearsals, and you never once saw Pat without a smile on her face.
Looking at the monitor. Stay on your monitor.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the 12 semifinalists for the title of Miss USA 1994.
What a terrific group.
I was so excited at that
Oh,
point.
and Miss Virginia Pat Salvo won the Minolta Miss Photogenic Award.
And she received $1,000 cash and a Miss USA trophy from Minolta.
Look, there she is. She
She's
is so
beautiful.
nice, too. She really is. Now, you know, at this point, all the preliminary scores you just saw are erased, and the 12 semifinalists begin competing all over again, first in swimsuits. And Laura, we were at the preliminaries on Tuesday. This is going to be really competitive.
Very, very competitive. You know, a lot of the girls are into fitness, and we have some athletes. Shelley Lehman, for example, Miss Missouri, she's been playing softball for 18 years. She plays first base. Her nickname is Stretch.
Oh, good. Hi, I'm Stretch. I'm Miss USA. But you know who really impressed me, though? Miss Louisiana, Cheryl Hebert. She has a 21-inch waist.
She looks great. Also, watch out for Miss New York, Jennifer Gayrice.
Oh, yeah, she's the swimming champion,
yes.
right?
NCAA All-American in college. She is in great shape. Also, you know, Kansas, she's a swimsuit model. She should do very well.
A swimsuit model? We'll talk about an advantage, right?
Carol Hovenkamp.
Okay, stay with us. The Jansen swimsuit
Well, welcome back as we continue our live competition with the interviews. Now, as you know, Miss USA travels almost non-stop during her reign, and she appears at hundreds of events and meets and talks with thousands of people. And for that reason, her ability to express herself is extremely important. Now, these interviews are spontaneous and unrehearsed, and the contestants are judged on their poise, their intelligence, their personality, and of course the content of their answers. And we begin with Miss Tennessee. With degrees in both French and military science, she's 25 years old, hails from Murfreesboro, and is known at work as First Lieutenant Leah Hewlin. Now, First Lieutenant, should I be saluting you here or what?
How about some push-ups?
Okay, thanks very much. Drop and give me 20. Okay. Now, it says you're a tactical electronic intelligent warfare officer. Now,
That's the Army for you. They try to confuse you with all that technical talk.
well, it sounds like you're a spy. Is that it?
Well, not exactly, but I admit when I was a little girl, I used to dream about being a secret double agent like 007 on James Bond movie,
Yeah.
and have my pen, camera, and maybe my telephone shoe. But in military intelligence, it's not exactly like that. In fact, we do a lot of really important missions that aren't necessarily keeping surveillance. When I was in Central America, in fact, we did a lot of humanitarian missions up in the mountains of Panama, where we helped the Indians by building roads and houses and homes and schools. And in fact, right now, with the Tennessee National Guard, as a drug demand reduction officer, my job takes me into the schools where there's a lot of violence, where a lot of children these days don't have role models. And in my uniform, I hope that I represent a role model for them, so maybe I can teach them that drugs don't necessarily have to be a choice and that they have other opportunities out there. So the intelligence world encompasses a lot more than just surveillance and disseminating time-sensitive information.
Okay, great. Miss Tennessee, Leah Hewlin. Go on over there. Let's take a look at your scores. Next up, we have Miss Hawaii. Honolulu's Nadine Tanega is 26 years old. She's a model and a master's degree candidate at Hawaii Pacific University. Now, it says that you're a cross-cultural trainer. What does that mean?
I'm studying to be a cross-cultural trainer. And a cross-cultural trainer teaches awareness about customs, social norms, and sometimes even superstitions of another culture or country.
Okay, and what's the point? Just so everybody gets along better, or what?
Well, I truly believe that the world is becoming much more interdependent, and we have to study these different kind of cultures so that we can get along better.
Okay. Well, you obviously get along pretty well with people. Haven't you been with the same guy for, like, forever?
For 9 years.
9? And you're only, what, 26?
I'm 26 years old.
So you've been with him since you were 17. What's the secret to this?
I think the secret is that he's a very, very humorous person. He keeps me laughing, and we both are honest, and we trust each other.
Now, if you should win Miss USA, you know you'd have to move to L.A.
I do.
Is he ready for that?
He's ready.
Is he?
He is.
Okay, he'll root you on, so will we. Good luck. Miss Hawaii, that's Nadine Tanega. Next, we have Miss Kansas. 22-year-old Carol Hovenkamp is from Overland Park, Kansas. She's a college sophomore, getting a degree in marketing while working 4 different jobs. Why 4 jobs?
Well, my parents have always taught me that they're there for me, but they want me to work my way through school too, and they think that will make me be more responsible. So I just like to keep busy also, but I like to work my way through school, and that's why I have 4 jobs.
So you're still close with your family even though they're making you pay the freight?
Well, I live with them, so yeah, we're really close.
You have no choice, I see. Now, one of the jobs you have is an auto correspondent for a local show. What is that?
Well, it airs on Saturday mornings. It's for a local television station in Kansas City. And it's kind of like the Home Shopping Club, but it's like where we talk about automobiles and good tips for looking for a used car. And I'm in the calling room.
Oh, okay.
And I say, call in. Our operators are standing by now.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to buy a used car. What kind of tips could you give me on what to look for?
Well, if you check your oil and you pull out the dipstick and there's silver shavings on it, you need a checkup right away.
Okay. I've been told that, yeah. Okay, good job. Miss Kansas, that's Carol Hovenkamp. Next up is Miss Illinois. From Chicago comes 24-year-old aspiring actress Kathleen Farrell, who put herself through Hunter College by working at New York's famed Russian Tea Room. Do you know, there are a lot of very famous people who worked at the Russian Tea Room.
I know, and I hope to follow in their footsteps. I always heard when I was working in the coat room, I would write all my musical papers in there, and people were constantly reminding me that Barbra Streisand had worked there, and Madonna.
Yeah, so they say, you know, you're a good hat check girl, but you're no Barbra Streisand. Huh? Yeah.
Well, not yet.
Yeah. Now, has anybody famous come in there since you've been working there?
Well, actually, I graduated from college when I was 20 years old, and I'm 24 now, so it's been quite a while since I visited, but I know one day I will, and I'll get that front table.
Okay. Now, you're also a classical pianist, right?
Yes, my parents took great care when I was growing up to expose me to the arts, to drama, to theater, and to music. And I know they did that because my mother wasn't so lucky. When she was growing up, she and her family were actually imprisoned in communist work camps in Czechoslovakia. And I'm so glad that she made it to America because she was able to give me the opportunities that she never had.
Now, I think your mom might win the award for coming the furthest to come see your daughter in this pageant.
I think she gets it. My parents currently live in Abu Dhabi, and they actually have an apartment overlooking the Persian Gulf. So I think she came the furthest.
Okay, well, you're making her proud. Miss Illinois, go on over there if you would, please, and we'll take a look at your scores. That's Kathleen Farrell. Now we have Miss North Carolina, 25-year-old Len Jenkins of Gastonia, a graduate of the University of North Carolina, a bachelor's degree in journalism, now works as an image consultant and motivational speaker. What is that?
Yes, sir. Well, I've left the image consulting business and have been focusing more on motivational speaking.
Okay.
And it's a gift of mine. I discovered it when I was traveling with a scholarship program throughout college, and I began receiving letters from teenagers and young adults, and they told me the effect that I had on them, that they really wanted to achieve the things that I aspired to achieve, and they really wanted to rise above mediocrity. So I feel like I should use that gift, and I want to do that all over the country.
Now, do you think people concentrate too much on image instead of substance?
Well, I think a first impression is very important, and it can open a door, and it make extreme impact, and that is a part of the surface image. But I'm going to tell you what comes from inside and the energy you feel from someone, that is what matters more than anything else in the world. And if you've got the energy, you can do anything you want to.
All right. Well, words to live by. Thank you, Miss North Carolina. That's Lynn Jenkins. And now we have Miss Texas, Christine Friedel from El Paso. 23 years old, and after graduating from Texas Tech, she plans to enter the field of gerontology. And I guess I should paraphrase Sally Field. They really like you here, don't they? Yeah. You say you're going to get into gerontology. Now, what part of that field are you interested in?
Well, eventually I'd like to open up my own daycare center for the elderly. With people living longer today, most people don't want to put their mothers or fathers or their grandparents in a full-time nursing facility, but they have to because they work. And so this way I'll take them during the day and they can come home and spend the night with their family and still feel like they're part of society.
Pretty much the same thing as a daycare center for kids?
Exactly. And maybe I've been thinking about also having the daycare have children and the elderly together.
Young people kind of bring out the best in older people, don't they?
Oh, exactly. And also, having them both incorporated together, it would make the children feel more at ease once they meet somebody older. A lot of times they get a little nervous when they're meeting somebody old or maybe handicapped.
Now, real quickly, I know you and your mom do something really weird with shopping.
Yeah.
What do you do? Fast.
Most definitely. We bargain shop. We like to take $50 and see how much we can buy with just $50. And my all-time high has been 1 pair of jeans, 1 cocktail dress, 2 day dresses, 3 swimsuits, and a belt.
Isn't that amazing? Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Texas, go on over there and we'll take a look at your scores. Christine Friedel. All right, ladies, thanks a lot. That our semifinal interview competition continues now, and we talk with Miss New York. 23-year-old Jennifer Gareis lives in Manhattan. She has a bachelor's degree in accounting, and in college she was an NCAA All-American swimmer, ranked 5th in the nation. Is that right?
Yes.
How old were you when you started swimming?
Well, I started competing when I was 5 years old. Probably all of my life I've been competing, it seems. And my pinnacle was in college when I was an NCAA All-American.
What stroke?
In the butterfly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many hours a day would it take to get ready?
6 hours a day, every day.
You'd go in like before school?
6 o'clock in the morning practices, yes, and then again at 4 in the afternoon.
Wow. Now, we're in the middle of, or we're getting ready to start the Olympics here, and the question is invariably going to come up, do kids lose some of their childhood by putting that much time into an athletic event? What do you think?
Well, I do think you have to sacrifice a lot. There's a lot of hard work and perseverance, but the benefits definitely outweigh what you have to sacrifice.
Now, what do you think is tougher, getting ready for an NCAA swim-off or getting ready for a pageant like this?
I think they're both equally hard. They really are.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of preparation.
All right. Great. Miss New York, stand over there if you would. Jennifer Gareis. Next, we have Miss South Carolina. She is Lou Parker, a 25-year-old high school teacher from Charleston who received her master's degree from the Citadel. Now, is this the same? Yeah, thank you. It's the same Citadel that's been in the news trying to keep women out?
It sure is. I obtained my master's there, actually.
Well, now, explain this. How'd you get your degree there if this other woman can't?
Well, Shannon Faulkner is interested in being a day student and a cadet, a member of the Corps of Cadets, and I obtained my master's there, so I just went to night school. Actually, there are more women there in the graduate level as opposed to the day school. So.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, did you ever run into any kind of prejudice from the male cadets?
Not at all. Actually, they were wonderful. Sometimes you hear that men at all military schools are kind of flirtatious, but they were absolute gentlemen every time I saw them in the halls.
Okay.
They were wonderful.
Now you're a teacher. Your mom's a teacher, right?
Yes, I teach 9th grade literature and absolutely love it.
And your mom teaches 1st grade.
She teaches 1st grade.
Hold this. Would you hold this microphone?
Okay.
Because your mom's class sent you a bunch of stuff, a bunch of pictures.
They did.
You're going to love this.
This is absolutely wonderful.
This is wonderful. Can we get a shot of that? That's a
Which
little
one
picture.
is this
is
one?
from Alexis, and she says, I wish you good luck. I wish you and me get married and get
Isn't that wonderful? I wish you good luck.
Well, we wish you good
Wonderful.
luck, too.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, that's Miss South Carolina, Lou Parker. Next is Miss Minnesota, Jolene Stavrakis. She's 26 years old from Burnsville. And back in the Twin Cities, she's a senior at Metropolitan State University where she has designed her own degree. Designer college degrees. Tell me about that.
Yes, it's actually my 4th school since high school, and I went there because they actually let you design your own degree, and you can use your experience and all your other education towards the degree that you design. And so I'm studying marketing and media, and I'm going to host my own cable television show on health and wellness.
Really? Really? What, if I tune into this show, what am I going to see?
Well, I'm going to have lots of different guests and talk about different subjects. I think that preventative health care is the best health care, and a lot of times we take our health for granted. But I think if you reduce stress and find time for exercise and eat right, all those things will help you not get diseases and not have illnesses and injuries that we face in America today.
Now, I think you said two key words here, reduce stress. You have a big audience here full of people. You have, what, 60 million people watching around the world. How are you managing your stress right now?
Well, I've actually just been studying yoga and meditation, and I think if you can find quiet time to really clear your mind and realize what's important, that it can help you tremendously, and it's helped me at the pageant, definitely.
Okay, well, don't take too much quiet time just yet, okay? You've got another hour or so to go. There she is, Miss Minnesota, Jolene Stavrakis. Next is Miss Louisiana. She's 22-year-old Sherelle Hebert of New Orleans, a full scholarship microbiology major at Louisiana State University, who plans to become a doctor someday. Now, when did you decide you wanted to be a doctor?
Well, I've always been really interested in science and medicine, so I just decided that that's what I wanted to do. But it was kind of difficult because no one in my family had gone to college. But I said, I'm going to do it, and I'm getting ready to graduate.
Was this just recently, or like when you were a kid, or what?
When I was about in 8th grade, I decided.
And what made you make that decision?
Well, I went to a doctor one day, and he talked right over my head. And I decided that day that I wasn't going to be that type of doctor. I was going to be the type of doctor who spoke to the patient and said, look, I care about you, and we're going to work through this together.
So you're going to be like a family practitioner, house calls, all that?
Family doctor, house calls included, because I feel like sometimes people get so sick they have to go straight to the hospital. So by making house calls, I'll eliminate that process of going from the house to the hospital. I'll be the middleman. Okay,
now you're from New Orleans. Your name is Hebert, H-E-B-E-R-T. Is there Cajun in the family tree?
There sure is. Mais c'est le bon temps roulé.
That wondermus, I guarantee. That's Miss Louisiana. Go on over there if you would. Sherelle Hebert. Let's take a look at her scores. Next is Miss Missouri. She's Shelley Lehman, a 25-year-old teacher from Republic who enjoys piano and ballet. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
What do you teach, Shelley?
I teach 3rd grade.
Do you really?
Yes.
And I remember when I was in 3rd grade, pretty much every thought comes out unfiltered at that point. Don't they just pretty much say anything?
I think they do. They have a way of expressing their thoughts to you.
What's the weirdest thing a kid ever said to you?
I was doing lunch duty once, and we were passing out mayonnaise packets, and I had a little boy go, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? And of course I didn't, but that was pretty hilarious.
Now, your kids sent you a bunch of stuff too, didn't they?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Like what? No, when you came to the pageant, they send you like good luck charms and things. Tell me about those.
Backstage, I have 28 good luck charms. They've either made them or brought them for me. And I'm wearing one tonight, so I'm very excited.
What is it?
It's a guardian angel. It was given to me before the Missouri pageant.
Oh, that's very nice. Are you superstitious?
I think so, a little.
Why not? Can't hurt, right?
Right.
Okay, that's Miss Missouri. Go on over there and take a look at your scores. Shelley Lehman. And finally, Miss Virginia. Pat Southall is from Chesapeake, 23 years old, and until recently was a special assistant to Virginia's Governor Wilder, and also the national press photographers here covering the pageant voted you most photogenic. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you may applaud that. Beautiful. Now, you worked for Governor Wilder?
Yes.
Right? What did you do for him?
A lot. I started working for him right after college, which was a blessing in disguise because I didn't have a job, and I was in the Governor's Fellows Program, which is a leadership program. And from that point on, I was hired, and again, a blessing to stay on, and worked in press relations, did scheduling, dealt a lot with the public.
Now, wait a second. Isn't his term over with?
Yes, so I'm jobless.
Oh, you're out of a job. My gosh. So what do you want to do now?
Well, I would love to just continue to go around speaking to people about different concerns that I have of what's going on, and hopefully getting to reporting and anchoring.
Oh, you're going to be a broadcaster, huh?
Yes, I would love to be one.
Okay. You know what?
Can I have your job?
You have my job? Not yet. The night is still young. Tell you what, though. I tell you what we'll do. We have some tape rolling. You can do a quick audition for us.
Wow.
Take the microphone. Do you know how to do a stand-up?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. Do a stand-up regarding the pageant. Go ahead. Take the mic.
Welcome to the 1994 Miss USA pageant, where 51 of the most beautiful and intelligent women are vying for the title of Miss USA. Please stay tuned for lots of dancing and singing and see if your winner takes home the crown tonight.
Unbelievable. Very nice job. That's Miss Virginia. Right on over there, if you would, please. Pat Southall. All right, thanks a lot, ladies. That completes our semifinal interview competition for Miss USA 1994.
Yeah, I guess I'll be getting some tips from Pat pretty soon. Why don't we see how the judges scored the interview competition? Oh, I'm not surprised at all. Miss Virginia tops this particular category. Miss Louisiana fell a couple of points there, but the night's still young, and Miss South Carolina is still hanging tough. Okay, the last of the semifinal events.
Well, there is no more appropriate place for our Jansen swimsuit competition than South Padre Island, which has some of the most beautiful beaches in the United States. And as they compete, the ladies will also be wearing shoes by Federico Leone. And we have asked each contestant to tell us a bit more about herself. We begin the 1994 Miss USA swimsuit competition with Miss Tennessee.
Well, I joined ROTC in college and continued on serving in the Army for a tour in Central America. And I loved being in the Army, but there were times when it wasn't always easy. I had to sometimes reach way down deep inside myself, and yet, now that I've stuck with it, I feel like a survivor.
Miss Hawaii.
I've grown up in Hawaii, a melting pot of different ethnic groups. Both my parents are from the Philippines. I lived in Japan and Taiwan, and because of all of this, I'm very interested in being a cross-cultural trainer.
Miss Kansas.
You know, I have never entered a pageant before in my life, so I am very new to this. It's a very different experience for me. I feel like I've grown from it, and it was a learning experience, and I feel differently about the pageant and view it different than I did before.
Miss Illinois.
Well, whenever you came into the Farrell house, there was always music playing. I started playing Beatles 45s on my little Raggedy Ann record player when I was 4 years old. And my dad listened to jazz, Mom was into opera, and then my sisters and I were all classical pianists. So you could always hear everything from Bach to Led Zeppelin. Yeah, there was always music playing.
Miss North Carolina.
Well, the first thing that I notice about other people are their eyes and the energy and their face and their warmth and if they touch you. And I think the human touch is very, very important. It builds rapport and you connect with people.
Miss Texas.
Showing the other contestants around has just been wonderful, especially around Texas, but also across the border in Mexico. We went over to Fiesta and saw some folklorical dancing, and the girls had a great time. So it's just been wonderful showing the girls the best of two worlds.
Miss New York.
Swimming has meant everything to me in my life. I think that I learned how to swim before I learned how to walk. And becoming an NCAA All-American certainly didn't come without a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice, but I would do it all over again if I had to. Wouldn't change a thing.
Miss South Carolina.
Well, I've always grown up around animals, and especially horses, and I even studied on my horse at times. And now as a teacher, I try to instill in my children to find something that they're interested in, such as horses or sports, so that they can build self-esteem.
Miss Minnesota.
Well, I've definitely faced a lot of challenges in my life. I've moved at least 30 times. I toured the country for a year as a spokesperson, and I've made mistakes, but I've learned that you can never give up on yourself or your dreams, and it's all just really given me a very strong spirit.
Miss Louisiana.
The person I admire most would be Oprah Winfrey because she had such a difficult childhood, but she didn't let that get in her way. She's very successful, and she's one of the most respected women. You know, I had a difficult childhood, but I don't use that as an excuse. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and I'm going to be a doctor one day.
Miss Missouri.
Well, actually, after college, I moved back home because I realized how much money I could save at home living with my parents. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a real saver, that I save my money. So I'm saving up to build my house of my own one day out in the country with lots of animals.
And Miss Virginia.
I would describe myself as someone who's ambitious, someone who wants and has a lot of goals in life, but someone at the same time that's just fun and down to earth and from a southern background and just likes to act silly sometimes.
Sensational, ladies. That completes our swimsuit competition for Miss USA 1994.
Oh my goodness, there are 12 young women who definitely are in shape. Oh my goodness.
I wish I could be in shape.
Well, you are. But who cares about that? We're going to have dessert later.
Okay.
Why don't we take a look and see how the judges scored it? Okay, topping the swimsuit competition, Miss Virginia, followed by Louisiana. I'm not surprised there, but you know, I thought Kansas would be up a little higher with a 9-point something because she is the model, as you remember.
You know, Jensen will award the winner, Miss Virginia, a $1,000 prize.
You know, I like
Nice.
this 1,000.
All right, welcome back to our live show from the Rio Grande Valley. I would also like to acknowledge the Secretary of Tourism of the Philippines, Vicente Carlos, and the Philippines Host Committee for the Miss Universe pageant, which takes place in Manila on May the 20th. Contestants appear in gowns of their own choice. They'll be serenaded by the United States Air Force Academy Chorale and saluted by the Academy's Sabre Drill Team. Ladies and gentlemen, our semifinalists in the evening gown competition, beginning with Miss Tennessee.
Powerful and true, as if there's nothing in the world I couldn't do. And way up there, up where the air is rare, you're there. And soon we two are flying high, soaring side by side across the sky.
Miss Hawaii.
Alone up there, my mind begins a flight that's all its own, and soars through every thought I've ever known.
Miss Illinois.
The still of the night, as I gaze out my window at the moon in its flight, my thoughts all stray to you. In the still of the night,
Miss North Carolina.
the times without number, darling, when I say to you, do you love me as I love you? Are you my life?
Miss Texas.
Fade out of sight like the moon growing dim on the rim of the hill with the chills still of the night.
Miss New York. Miss South Carolina.
Love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my
Miss Minnesota. Miss Louisiana. Miss Missouri. And Miss Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our evening gown competition and our semifinals.
wonderful. Arthel is backstage again, so let's see what's happening. Arthel?
Well, Laura, the ladies are going to come off the stage any moment now, and I have to see how they're holding up. Here they come. Looking just great, I have to say. Miss Tennessee leading the crowd here. Why don't you stop to me? You know, now you are used to wearing combat boots and army fatigues. This has to be a little different for you, right?
It is difficult. Mounting these stairs in 4-inch heels is not my idea of fun. I'm more comfortable in those boots.
I know you are. I know how you mean. Anyway, you handled it well, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Now, Laura, I want to know how they did in this competition. Are the scores ready yet?
They are, so let's recap. Miss South Carolina, I told you she was elegant. Here she is with a 9.8. Virginia in second place with a 9.85. Very close, Virginia and South Carolina. And then we have the home girl, Texas, with a 9.699. Remember, those scores are now added to the scores for the interview and swimsuit competition, and only the top 6 contestants will continue. We'll find out who...
Now, as we welcome back our 12 semifinalists, we have from our judges the 6 contestants who will go on to compete in the finals. Ladies, I will read these names in random order. The first finalist for the title of Miss USA 1994 is Miss New York, Jennifer Gareis. Miss Virginia, Pat Salvo. Miss North Carolina, Lynn Jenkins. Three spots remaining, and one of them belongs to Miss Louisiana, Sherelle Hebert. Miss South Carolina, Lou Parker. Only one other woman has a chance at becoming Miss USA for 1994, and she is Miss Texas, Christine Friedel. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 finalists for the title of Miss USA 1994.
Oh my goodness, this is so tough now. Now the good news is they're in the finals, but the scary news is things are going to get more intense by the minute because the judges' questions are up next.
Yes, and those questions are very important because that will narrow the group to just 3 contestants.
Again, all of the previous scores are erased, and the finalists begin this.
We are back live from South Padre Island, Texas, and we have one round of competition for our 6 finalists back here, which will determine the final 3 contestants. Now, each young lady will draw a judge's name from this bowl and respond to a question from that judge. The contestant has 20 seconds to answer, and while voting, the judges will consider the answer, and they'll also see a video reminder of that contestant competing earlier in the semifinals so that the scores can be based on their overall impression of her this evening. Now, the score from the judge asking the question is going to be highlighted on your screen. And we begin now with Miss New York. Okay, Jennifer, go ahead. You have selected judge number 7, Carol Connors. Carol?
Everyone agrees that sexual harassment is wrong, but even the Supreme Court has difficulty determining what constitutes sexual harassment. How would you define it?
Well, sexual harassment, it certainly is a big problem in our society today. I think in the workplace, we understand that we're not so strict in the workplace that we cannot verbally critique people. Instead, if we deal with sexual harassment, any sexual connotation should be considered sexual harassment, although critiquing should be allowed. So this is the differentiation, I would say, between the two. And between males and females, within any other occasions, I don't think it's acceptable at all.
All right, Miss New York, hold on one second.
The very first Miss USA ever was from New York.
That was back in 1952, and New York did it one more time in 79.
Okay, if you go back, please, we bring out Miss Virginia. Go back, go ahead. select a number and a corresponding judge. Oh, she mixed them up. And you have picked number 10, Derek Lassick. Derek, go ahead. Give her your question.
There's a lot of controversy over whether or not violence in television or movies causes violent behavior. How do you feel?
I'd have to say that, first of all, violence in television, it is a serious problem going on, but I think it begins at home. I think parents should censor more what their children watch and make sure that children have other things to do besides just sit in front of the television. Another problem we have is just education within television. A lot of it is violent, and I think that is dangerous. If we center more around just educational things and not violent things, I think that we'd be better off with our children.
Okay, Miss Virginia, hold on right here for a moment.
Now, Pat's 23, and she says she's retiring. This is her last pageant.
Ah, but she's wrong. If she wins, she'll go to Miss Universe.
Yeah, that'll bring you out of retirement, all right.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, back to your spot. And let's bring out Miss North Carolina. Here they are. Go ahead and select one. And you have selected judge number 3, Erica Andersch. Erica?
Some people have cosmetic surgery to change their appearance. Would you? Why or why not?
Well, I'm here at the Miss USA pageant, and I've never had cosmetic surgery, so I don't see any need to. Gosh, I think that's right. And I certainly think that God gives each of us a certain physique and certain gifts, and we need to make the best of those and be very grateful for them, because we could be much worse off. So I'm not a real advocate of cosmetic surgery.
Okay, that's Miss North Carolina. Hold on for one moment.
Well, I believe that no one from North Carolina has ever won, right?
That's right, Arthur. Lynn would be the first Tar Heel ever to capture the crown.
Okay, now let's bring out Miss Louisiana. Sherelle? If you would, go ahead, select a number. All right, and she goes with number 9, Mae Shanley Fitzgerald.
Yes, Miss Louisiana, if you were a single parent with dependent children and found yourself unemployed without funds, would you apply for welfare?
Well, if it meant caring for my children, I would, because I think that we can't let our children grow without any care. But I know what it's like. My mom was a single parent, and if you care enough about your children, you'll go out and find work and provide for those children and show them that you're willing to work hard for anything you need.
Okay, Miss Louisiana, hold on. Let's take a look.
Sherelle's my hometown girl. That's New Orleans, and she's missing Mardi Gras to be here tonight.
But it'll be worth it if she wins.
Mm-hmm.
There are the scores now. If you go right on back. And Lou, Miss South Carolina, come on out. All right, there are 6 of them left. Go ahead and select one. All right, you have chosen judge number 4, Pedro Luis Garcia.
If you were commissioner of the FCC, what would you do about the so-called shock jock broadcast personalities who offend certain members of their audience?
If I were a member of what?
FCC.
You're a member of the FCC.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I were a member of the FCC and someone was offending someone in television, I think I would bring them in front of a board, ask them what their purpose is of offending someone. I don't think offense in the nation is very fair to someone. I would bring them, ask them questions, ask them their purpose, and ask them why they would really and truly want to hurt someone.
All right, Miss South Carolina, let's just stay there for a second.
Lou's in good company, isn't
That's
she?
right. The last Miss USA to win Miss Universe was from South Carolina back in 1980.
All right, now if you go back to your spot and we bring out Miss Texas. Go ahead and select a number and a judge. You're taking that one, and that one belongs to number 2, John Paul DeJoria. John?
Well, if you, Miss Texas, were a member of Congress and you had to decide between funding either the space program or the information superhighway, which would you choose and why?
Oh, gosh. I think I would choose our space program. It's so amazing to me that just recently we had a Russian astronaut up along with an American astronaut, and it's just growing and growing, and I find it truly amazing that we can find maybe life out in the next universe and learn more from that, and hopefully we can bring back what we find out in the universe back here to help some of our problems.
Okay, Christine, hold on one moment if you would.
Texas has won 6 times. Christine would be number 7. That's more than any other state.
You wouldn't be partial, would you?
Nah.
Okay, if you join the rest of them over there, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That completes the judges' questions for our 6 finalists.
Oh my goodness, they were all so articulate.
They really were.
I know. Now, okay, we know that only 3 contestants will make it to the next round of competition, and you're the expert here, so what are your predictions? Yeah, once again.
I think Miss Texas will do very well. I think Virginia, and I think Louisiana.
Those are my 3.
No.
Yes.
Get out of here.
I'm serious.
Well,
okay.
Hope we're right.
I hope so. What do you think? Stay tuned and find out who the final...
We are back live from South Padre Island, Texas, and here it is. This is the fateful piece of paper that has the names of our final 3 contestants on it. First of all, ladies, you have all represented your states beautifully over the past year, and yourselves this evening. You should be very proud. But we can only name 3 women to continue, and I will read these names in random order. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the final 3. First off is Miss South Carolina, Lou Parker. Next is Miss Virginia, Pat Southall. One more woman has a chance to become Miss USA, and she is Miss North Carolina, Lynn Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, one of these 3 beautiful young women will be the new Miss USA.
I think I lost my touch.
Okay, it's high tension time. The final question for these 3.
This is crucial because even though the judges make their final decision based on everything the contestants have done this evening, this question can tip the balance if it's a close call.
And by the way, you won't see any scores here, so you're on your own trying to pick the winner. And you know what? I think it's happening, so why don't we go back to the stage?
All right, ladies, this is it, the last round of competition. This is the final question. Now, I'm going to ask each of you the same question. You'll each have 20 seconds in which to answer, and to make sure that the second and third contestants don't hear the question to the first contestant, we're going to put Virginia and North Carolina back in that soundproof booth back there. So if you would go ahead, go on back there. And Lou Parker, if you would come over here with me, Miss South Carolina. Come on, get on in there, gals. I know it's noisy, but you have to go in there. All right, can you hear us? Can you hear it? You can't hear a thing? Yeah, right, okay. No, they can't, trust me, trust me. Now I'm gonna begin by asking you the question, Miss South Carolina, here it is. The Winter Olympic Games begin tomorrow. Do you think an athlete who has been linked to, but not arrested for, a crime should be allowed to represent the United States?
I think that anyone is innocent before they are proven guilty, or, So I think that Tanya should be able to participate. She hasn't been committed of a crime. She has come to the public and said that she has not done anything wrong, that her husband did the crime, and I think that she should be able to compete. She's a teammate, and she'll do really well.
All right, that's Miss South Carolina. If you'd step right over here, please. And we bring out Miss Virginia. All right, Pat, the question is this. The Winter Olympic Games begin tomorrow. Do you think an athlete who has been linked to but not arrested for a crime should be allowed to represent the United States?
First of all, I think it comes to a judgment of judicial or ethical concerns, and my concern with Tanya Harding is that it's an ethical concern. She is not guilty because she hasn't been proven guilty. However, she misled our public. And I think representing yourself or our country in the Olympics is something that's important and it's precious, just like being here representing your state. And I think it's important to have great values and morals and to be sincere and to be honest with everyone. So I really don't think anyone should be able to represent our country unless they've been honest.
All right, Miss Virginia, if you would please take a spot over there. We bring out Miss North Carolina, Lynn Jenkins. Lynn, the question is this. The Winter Olympic Games begin tomorrow. Do you think an athlete who's been linked to but not arrested for a crime should be allowed to represent the United States?
Well, I think that being in the Olympics is a tremendous honor, but I also think that everyone has the right to their innocence. And what a shame it would be if that person were not able to compete and win with what they have every right to win. But at the same time, if they have been found guilty of the charge, I think they should be publicly stripped of everything they've won because they certainly didn't deserve it.
All right, there is Miss North Carolina. Thank you very much, ladies. Now it's time for the final vote to determine who the new Miss USA will be. As each contestant steps forward, the judges will consider their overall impression of her in the competition this evening, and they will rank each young lady as they vote for her to be the second runner-up, the first runner-up, or the new Miss USA. And we begin with Miss South Carolina. Miss Virginia. And Miss North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, that completes our competition for the title of Miss USA 1994.
Oh my goodness, I am so nervous with that music. Ba-boom,
Did you see the judges, the audience reaction at that question?
We have come to the finale of our live show from South Padre Island, and as we prepare to crown the new Miss USA, it is time to say farewell to the young woman from Detroit, Michigan, who has worn the crown this past year so beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time as Miss USA, Kenya Moore.
Throughout my life, I've been blessed with many opportunities and have found the courage to embrace the challenges. Nothing has been more fulfilling than being crowned Miss USA and having the opportunity to see a dream come to fruition and to make a difference in the lives of many impressionable children. The title has enabled me to further develop my individuality, strive for excellence, and work towards being, in the words of my favorite poet, Maya Angelou, a phenomenal woman, phenomenally. I extend my deepest appreciation and gratitude to Miss Universe Incorporated and to our many generous sponsors and fans. I especially thank my family for their loving support, and above all, I thank God for making all things possible.
Kenya, we thank you. You've represented our country and yourself beautifully over the last year. We wish you all the best of luck in the future. Ladies, this is the moment. We are all set to reveal the second and first runners-up and the new Miss USA. The accounting firm of Ernst & Young has reviewed the results for accuracy, and Mr. Mark Ward is here. Thank you, Mark. He has the printout. To assist us, please welcome two young women who know what it means to wear a crown: the reigning Miss Teen USA Vermont's Charlotte Lopez and the reigning Miss Universe from Puerto Rico, Dayanara Torres. Ladies, this is it. The second runner-up is Miss North Carolina, Len Jenkins. All right. Come on, let's step down here now. Now, as I am about to reveal the name of the first runner-up and the new Miss USA, let me remind you of the importance of the first runner-up. If Miss USA cannot complete her reign for any reason, and of course, there's the possibility that she could be crowned the new Miss Universe on May 20th in the Philippines, then our first runner-up will become Miss USA. Ladies, are you ready? You sure? All right. The first runner-up is Miss Virginia. Pat Southall, that means Lou Parker of South Carolina is the new Miss USA. Congratulations, Lou Parker. You are the new Miss USA. The cash awards, the gifts are yours, and you will represent our country at the 1994 Miss Universe pageant May 20th in the Philippines. Now, as our entire cast serenades you, the stage is yours. Miss USA 1994.
This is your night. The future is bright. The world is yours. You want it all. Just look at you. You're 10 feet tall. It's your night. From shining your light. You've captured every heart that's here. You won the night. You've won. Love it and live it. With all that you can give it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join us on May 20th with Lou Parker. The new Miss USA will represent us at the 1994 Miss Universe pageant in the Philippines. On behalf of Arthel Neville, Laura Herring, and Doug Stone, this is Bob Goen saying thank you and good night from South Padre Island in Texas.
Good night.
Portions of this program have been pre-recorded.
How good is Picket Fences? It's an Emmy Award winner for Best Drama, Best Actor and Actress, and a Golden Globe winner for Best Actress. Picket Fences is next. Check it out.